Everybody, and good morning to you. Meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Monday morning. A soggy day in store for most of us. In fact, I'm going to draw exactly where most of the rain is right now in comparison to what we're actually showing on Futurecast. And so far, most of the rain is south and east of that red line. And actually, it's a little more solid than what Futurecast is showing, which gives me hope that we could end up being in line for some good rain for most of you, but not for everybody. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of forecast models in a little bit with the potential rainfall totals. But first, let's get into the Futurecast here. And this is our in-house model. Again, not all models are green. Some are a little farther west than others. This is one of the farthest east ones. And I'm doing this because I don't want to get you too optimistic and get your hopes up. And if it ends up raining more than expected, that's a good thing. So this is probably on the lower end of things, but some good solid rain in southern and eastern areas. But notice that very sharp cutoff to the north and west. Now, some models do bring some of this rain about to here. So this is kind of the biggest question mark right in here today as I kind of highlight those areas. But to the south and east, certainly a good rain on the way today. Here's noon. Let's take you into the afternoon hours. Now, we'll be seeing more scattered showers, but look at that. Again, very sharp cutoff. But again, adjust that 25, 50 miles to the east, and all of a sudden Lexington and Broken Bow are getting a good rain. Now, McCook, North Platte, it gets a little more questionable, and certainly way out west, I don't think you're going to see much here. But again, it just depends on where exactly that cutoff is. I think this is about as far east as that cutoff is going to be. This is the forecast model that I've been using. That's the farthest east. The other thing I want to mention this afternoon, I've been noticing with this model here, is this red, this instability here. There is an outside chance we may be dealing with a little bit of severe weather. I am going to check something real quick here before I get too much into it, because a brand new thing just came out from the Storm Prediction Center as of the time of this recording. I mean, it just came out here, so I just want to kind of check out the threats here real quick. All right, so there is the potential for isolated severe weather in southeast Nebraska and northeast Kansas today. So I'll show you that a little bit more in just a bit here, but that also includes the chance of a brief spin up. It's an outside chance, but there is a chance. A little brief spin up, an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out here, and some gusts, some strong wind gusts around some of these thunder showers that may pop up here in southeastern areas. This evening, this will start to lift to the northeast. So northern and eastern areas, maybe still some rain through the mid-evening hours, but then by about midnight, most of it's out of here. Now, some models do linger it a little longer, but the trend will be for decreasing showers and then decreasing clouds. Winds will not decrease, though. They are going to stay fairly brisk overnight tonight. That will continue into tomorrow. We'll start with some sun during the day. Tomorrow, clouds rolling in from the west during the day, so becoming partly to mostly cloudy. You saw maybe a couple of sprinkles there. Probably not. I don't think we're going to see much with that here. Winds brisk, temperatures stay cool. Tomorrow night, skies clear out. Winds stay a little bit brisk, and in fact, they're going to really crank up on Wednesday. Wednesday could be our windiest day this week. We could be talking about wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So before we get into the temperature forecast and even the rainfall amounts that we could potentially see, this was a brand new update. It came out right before I started this recording. The Storm Prediction Center has added southeast Nebraska to a marginal risk of severe storms. It's not a great chance. I don't think we'll see a lot of severe weather, but cannot rule out an isolated brief spin-up tornado. We're not looking at something that's going to sit on the ground for a long time and just track for miles and miles and miles, but cannot rule out an isolated tornado and some brief wind gusts, strong wind gusts in southeast Nebraska that might exceed 60 miles per hour. So we do need to watch that. And in fact, here is the tornado threat from the Storm Prediction Center. They have that at that 2% chance. That means what that means is a 2% chance of a tornado occurring within 25 miles of any point. So in fact, if you look at Beatrice there, that you have a 2% chance of seeing a tornado somewhere within 25 miles of where you are. Same thing in Hebron. Same thing in Lincoln, Nebraska City, Crete. Communities like that. You are in a 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any one point in that green area. There is also a wind threat, not much of a hail threat, but there is a damaging wind gust threat. And basically what this means is you have a 5% chance of seeing a wind gust of 60 miles per hour or more within 25 miles of any one of those points within that brown shaded area. So that's what that tells you when you look at these particular maps. Rainfall totals here, and I'm going to show you various models here. I'm going to show you first our in-house. No, this is the HRRR model. This is the high resolution model here, and this is one that updates a lot throughout the day here, and this is the latest update. There's actually a new update that's going to be coming out very soon, probably within the next half hour or so. But right now there's a very sharp cutoff. We're looking at some solid rain, and don't focus too much on the numbers because these are not a perfect science by any means, but focus more on the colors to give it a general idea. We're looking at a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rainfall, but then there's going to be this spot somewhere in here, somebody's going to get 1.5 inches, maybe as much as 2 inches or more in a few isolated locations. This is the biggest question mark right in here is, could you end up getting a nice rain in Kearney, O'Neill, or could you get 1/4 of an inch or less? And then those amounts quickly drop off to the west. Now I am going to go into my editor mode here. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of other forecast models just to give you a good idea of the wide variety of what's being shown, just to show you that this is still a little bit tough to predict even this close to the actual event here. So this is our in-house forecast model. It's a little farther east. This is the farthest east model that I did show you in a Futurecast. And again, notice that the amounts aren't quite as high and they're a little farther to the east. Now I'm going to show you the Canadian forecast model. And this one here is actually a little farther west with the rain. Lexington or O'Neill, a good rain. Broken Bow, almost 1/4 of an inch, but still the highest rains to the east, the way things are shaping up right now. Now I'll show you the North American forecast model. That's this next one I'm going to be bringing up here. And that shows you, again, southeast, eastern Nebraska, the highest amounts. Certainly not nearly as much rain for the Tri-Cities area, but still a little bit of rain to the west and around Lexington and Broken Bow. We're still only talking about maybe up to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. So, yeah, again, you just notice the trends towards the highest amounts to the east. Now the European forecast model, this only updates once every 12 hours. But again, this one matches some of those other models I was showing you, like the Canadian model, the HRR model. Again, the sharp drop off to the west, but a good solid rain from around the Tri-Cities and eastward. Finally, the GFS model, and that one's somewhat similar. Not as heavy out east, but still, many places, a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, maybe some isolated higher amounts. So again, there's a wide variety of models to choose from. They give you a good general idea that, again, the eastern half of the area is going to be looking at a solid rain, but the western parts of the area are going to get little to nothing. And then there's that fine line right in between where it could go either way in a few communities. Highs for today, 40s and 50s for most of us. The coolest air right over central Nebraska. There's a milder air mass to the southeast, and that's why there's a little more instability for that chance of some isolated severe weather right in here. And then as you go farther to the west, there may actually be a little sunshine today where there's no chance of rain way to the west and to the northwest. Tonight's temperatures down into the 20s out west, some low 40s in the east. Most of us will see lows in the 30s. Highs tomorrow, mid to upper 40s and low to mid 50s. So a cool but typical day. Brisk winds are expected as well. Tomorrow night, mix of 20s and 30s, warmer to the east, cooler to the west. And looking ahead to a windy Wednesday, highs in the mid to upper 40s and lower 50s. But again, those winds will make it feel colder. Like I said, wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, not out of the question. Thursday, the winds will not be as strong. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine again. And there's a milder air mass to our southwest. So cool air trying to stay in place here to the north and east, milder to the south and to the west. Let's take a look at the rest of that extended forecast. And again, today is our only chance of moisture this week. We've got rain today. It's a guaranteed rain chance for the Tri-Cities area. Then it's dry for Tuesday and beyond, all the way through at least Sunday of this week, going into early next week. High temperatures, mid to upper 40s and low 50s, pretty close to average for this time of the year. Lows mid 20s to mid 30s, also pretty close to average for this time of the year. Not seeing any weather concerns right now when it comes to the Husker game on Saturday. That extended forecast, it does look like we might get a little cooler next week. There is potential for some new moisture to come in early next week. We'll keep an eye on that, but it's over a week away. North Platte, unfortunately, just a small chance of rain for you today, and then it's dry beyond today. Highs, upper 40s, low to mid 50s, close to average. Lows, 20s and lower 30s, also pretty close to average. Looking at that extended forecast, again, you see it gets a little cooler as we get into early next week. Well, with that, I'm going to let you all go. I want to thank you all for watching on this Monday morning. I'll be back with you on Tuesday. We'll talk rainfall totals, and we'll talk about what's to come for the rest of this week as we look ahead, inching close to the Thanksgiving holiday. Otherwise, have a good day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.